This is Dr. Eleanor and Dr. Marvin. You got to unmute yourself, though.
Unmuted.
All right. Hi there.
Hi. So I was, just thinking about, the talk tonight. And so what can I say as a medical doctor? So, I'm used to data and studies, and what I just was saying to Eleanor is, okay, so what have I noticed in the last 6 months since I started iHeRQles? That's different. So, I mean, I have been working in the circle of life with Rasaji, so I've been feeling better overall. But what's happened in the last 6 months is, on a physical level, is that my inflammation markers, including my CRP, has dropped to virtually zero. It's under 1, like 0.1, something like that. Okay, so that's
awesome.
that's an inflammation marker. And I've had elevated homocysteinic acid, and that's moved into the normal range. My average blood sugar, which is measured by the hemoglobin A1C, has dropped from upper 5s to mid to lower 5s, and that's the average of the blood sugar over a number of weeks. So that's
awesome.
And I haven't,
Your hair.
Yeah, well, the hair is, everyone has talked about the hair. So my hair is definitely, you can't see it, but I have black roots, and my hair was completely white, 6 months ago.
I can see that it's growing in black.
Well,
it's dark it's dark underneath.
Well, to me, that was the thing that really woke me up, because it's like one morning, you look in the mirror and what is that? And then after a week, it's more. So and that's progressing. So I would say, and then I've had some other interesting things since I'm even a little older than you, Kare, about 10 years older than you. And I've had an anemia, because you've been talking about the blood, okay? So I've had for 15 years a mild anemia, and no one can figure out why. And last year, a year and a half ago, with the move, and my hemoglobin dropped from 12.3, 12.4 to like 11.2, and that's already problematic for people who know a little bit about blood work. And again, that sort of agreed with my, or went along with my elevated inflammatory markers. So now that's back to normal, what it was for 20 some years, 12.4.
For 20 some years?
Yeah, right. And the other thing is that I have this strange bruising issue that no one can figure out either. My platelets are okay, but my hands are purple. And my the dog, who's right here next to me, by the way, scratched me, but I had a lot of bleeding tendency, and it continued even when I was off anticoagulants. My bleeding would last, a long time. And, it's very clear that when I get cut, it doesn't bleed as long, even though the markers on the blood test don't show any difference yet. So, I mean, the platelets are still normal, but no one knew what the problem was, but something has obviously changed. So to me, it's a very interesting.
What that's saying to me is that the iHeRQles is a nutrition that is so complete in the way the cells read it, that the food we're eating and the other things we're taking into our body are lacking in the ability to communicate what our body needs. So I think it's a frequency and I experience it almost as a homeopathic taste. You know, it's like such a combination of plants, and when I take iHeRQles, my body is really happy.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, it's not homeopathic. There's real molecules in here. And it's going right. You know, all the food we eat, I don't care how good it is, it has to go through our digestive process. But this goes directly into the bloodstream in a molecular form that goes right to where it's supposed to go. So it's so absorbable. It's so, I mean, we get 100% of it. And I think,
I know you've lost a lot of weight using it. Are there studies that show percentages of people losing weight?
No, no, nobody's tracking that. Nobody's saying this is a weight loss product, but a lot of people do lose weight. But I did other things. I mean, I was consciously trying to do that.
Right.
So
the iHeRQles made it easier.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I could cut down on what I was eating, but I was still getting that high level nutrition and still had the energy. See, a lot of people lose weight because they get more energy and they start moving more and their digestion gets better and their thinking gets clearer. And a lot of people will stop craving stuff. When you get real high frequency something in your body, the high quality, then what? You get high quality.
I didn't realize. See, I'm relatively new to these discussions, but I just realized that I don't have cravings. Eleanor bakes, you know, she used to bake a lot. So since she's been on a keto diet, she doesn't bake so much, and I sort of complain. But she baked this great cake, and I mean, I ate it, but instead of eating another 2 or 3 pieces, I mean, I don't really have cravings, and I've had cravings. I mean, I know when I want something, but I don't have to have twice as much. Is what I would say.
Yeah.
So it's almost like what I'm eating that I want, and I'm usually pretty good at picking out what I want, but I sometimes need help. And because when I was a kid, my mom was sick and I had to sort of fend for myself. But anyway, my dog is just approaching me here. By the way, we started putting him on it because he has hip issues. But anyway, I would say that yeah, I have less craving for food, and my weight, interesting, no matter what I eat, and I can eat a lot and I can eat a little bit, my weight has basically stayed the same for 8 or 9 months. About it
That's awesome.
I don't know whether the change, it's almost like whatever I eat seems to turn out to be right.
Well,
it's interesting.
You know, if you do this spray 15 minutes before a meal, it turns on your digestive enzymes and your liver and kidneys. So whatever you're putting in your body gets processed at a whole different level. So that's interesting too.
It is.
Yeah, there's so much good stuff about it. You know, you could, like Josh said, you can just talk and talk about this because there's so many interesting things going on. Now, Eleanor, you're a psychotherapist.
I'm a psychologist.
Okay, so are you noticing things in the mental, emotional areas?
Well, I do think that it's very subtle, but there's a clarity of focus and of thinking. I always see auras and am very good picking up vibration. But the level at which I can do it is more subtle. And I can identify other dimensional frequencies than I could before.
Interesting. You know, I can say I've always been very intuitive, and I'm much more intuitive. And you know what I think is going on? I think my pineal gland is getting decalcified.
Ah,
I don't know. I mean, that's like, I'm not a doctor. I have no clue. But I think, I mean, that's a possibility.
mhm.
So, well, thank you both for sharing. I really appreciate that.